Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Okay. Let's go ahead and get here. So, plus 30. So I don't know if that means plus 30 per turn they get or whatever, but we got to fight it. We didn't come over here not to fight. So let's go ahead and do it. I think it'll be okay. Like I said, the most annoying thing are those horrors, and I don't really have like fast units to go deal with them. So we just need to make sure they don't snipe out Kugath. If they just empty all their ammunition into the Nurglings, that's probably okay with regeneration if it's just kind of spread out. They're probably going to try to focus fire either the spawn or Kugath, though. So we'll have to be aware of that. Now, this is where like being able to spawn those Nurglings could potentially be pretty good. Okay, just to answer, we don't have a ton of extra things. Michael McMillan says, thanks for the remake, I like your content. Glad you put unique awareness in your commentary, learned so much more Warhammer 2, even got me to play on Legendary. I do still like to watch the videos, even though you're playing your own campaigns, which is great. Okay, then Trevor also says, awesome, been following you since Warhammer 1 and 2, and I get a shocking amount of video off of this. Wish YouTube promoted you a little bit more, but I'm glad to see that you're still going. Well, thanks. Me too. Me too. We just do what we can here. I haven't paid a lot for advertising historically, and I just haven't played the algorithm game as well as some other people have, because it's not like a full-time job. But I probably could be doing a little bit better as far as optimizing with SEO, but we have been getting a lot more people here recently, so that's good. Okay, so we want to try to take their main place if we can. Best way to do that is probably opening right here, because we have two different fronts we can go on. We do kind of want them all close to Kugath. I don't think there were any other options that were like great. Huh. Interestingly enough, I wonder if we could deploy... Okay, well there's... I wonder if you could run up here or not. No, you cannot. It's just graphically just kind of there. But even though there is a white line there, I think that's actually the edge of the map. Yeah, so you can't. And that's just for fun, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the only other option would be like to go over here and try to work your way up, but they're just going to have even more options to try to stop you. So I think this is good. Oops. 7. Do it this way. Yeah, they're gonna have us all spread out. It's gonna be annoying, but yeah, we just want to bum rush right over there if we can. Please tell me we get in there before this wall comes up. I think we're gonna get there in time, but we gotta hurry. Oh, let's go. Keep going. Oh my gosh, really? Alright, well, we're all going this way. Now, as we start hitting them, they should be slowed, I believe, so We should be able to run them down. Yeah, it's kind of a rough spot here. Yeah, they are hard focusing these spawn. Let's move those back around here, around this edge of this house, and then maybe we can aim for those or something. Okay, so yeah, they are dropping all of that into Kugat. Actually, that's not that bad, because we are going to be able to regenerate through quite a bit of that, I think. Yeah, they're almost out of ammo, too. I think that's actually fine. I'm gonna go ahead and use that while the bar fills up. I guess I pressed the wrong thing, I don't know. Yeah, fine, we can just throw that in there. Oh, what are y'all doing? Give me a fight. He's like falling asleep in the middle of the fight. Oh, what? I wish Kugath had some awesome units, like these Chaos Knights that are OP. I'm just trying to get over here just so I can do another massive heal. Yeah, I think they're all about to just run. Yeah. I'm like, oh crap. All of our people are dead. And no one has taken hardly any damage. I guess the Nurglings are marginally dinged up. All these towers, these like AoE damage towers just raining on us. Casting vortex spells, having, you know, tier 4, tier 5 Chaos Knights. I still have enough for 2 more heals. Make sure we heal all of our single entity lords. See, I think we're almost at the replenishment cap, or are they? I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay. Kai Millard says, in response to some of my Slaanesh content, be sure to check that out. You can vassalize greenskin tribes if you recreate their faction. Okay, so if you... I think if you take, like, their main headquarters with Slaanesh, I think I remember seeing this, you can bring them back and vassalize them. But, in my mind, there's no real point in doing that. I mean, you can, but it's going to take them forever to, like, tech up or be useful for you. It's probably better just to take the area. Because the thing with Slaanesh is they make a lot of money, right, in their main towns. And so you're not really going to make that much money off of vassalization. The only reason that you would want to vassalize, a couple of reasons, over just taking the towns are, number one, if you just want that area to be protected well. You know, a vassal's going to hold an army in the area and protect it if it's like, if you don't want to spend the resources to try to defend the area yourself. Or if you care about a military alliance and some of the buildings you could get from them. Yeah, now we're talking.
Everything from them. The cake, father. Child, dissect them.
So if you care about a military, like the military units or something like that, you can do that. Greenskins, I mean, what would you want? I guess like rock lobbers maybe or something, but I don't know. Like, yeah, it can be done, but yeah. Apparently it says it's bugged and everyone will declare war on you if you do that. Something. Every demon faction will declare war on you. Okay. Go with that. Pelican. Oh, wait, hold up. So you get three versions of Locus of Contagion, which does pretty decent damage, or Locus of Fecundity, which is going to heal for quite a bit. So you can either heal, and it does the Vigor, 10% extra Vigor back. 3 uses for free, 11 seconds. So it's like 9 or 10% healing, or like 1,200 damage, which is probably, I mean, what do most things have, like 8,000 health or something, 7 or 8,000 health on infantry. So that's probably like 10 to 15% damage. Now that can also be reduced. I think I did Contagion last time. I would almost never go for this one. It just doesn't make sense with your kind of army most of the time. I mean, I kind of want to do Fecundity, but there is a regeneration cap, and I'm probably going to hit that cap with a lot of these units. So but I mean, we're going to beat them in a long fight anyways. Just there might be some times where I'm limited on magic, one reason or another. I think we'll go with Fecundity, because we're just going to win long fights anyways. We'll do Fecundity this time. And healing just works so well with this faction for all the reasons I've described before. Have very high health pools, and like really high melee defense, and poison and physical resist. You just have all of these things that make it like you get a lot of extra benefit from having huge health. Okay, so now we kind of had to decide, alright, if Katerin is going away, which it seems like she might, then what's the call here? Are we at war with these ogres? We went to war with some ogres. Yeah, saber skin. Okay. So I guess we'll just go over there and try to take him out. Or we could close this rift. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of going and closing this rift. And then we can go into ogre property there if we want to do that. And then I can push forward with this. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Oh, oops. I don't know if I could have put them in there or not last turn, but yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and then Darko Wharf. I don't know if we can defend this against 20 Catarins if she comes at us again. So I think we'll just wait and just try to get a sense of what she's up to first. And we need to have some kind of plague going on over here. So this one is for the physical resist, Rot. Nurgle's Rot. And this one is the regeneration one. The regeneration one is very good. It is going to take a hot minute to get to that. I mean, being able to spread attrition to other people is okay. It's not like a huge deal. This is very good for like really tough fights though. Constant vomiting. Okay, let's just throw up a Rot, I guess. Oh, I can throw that on him. I don't want to risk him. I don't think it will replace a named plague, the Black Plague, with a little wimpy plague. I'm not sure how it does that. Like what the priority is. I guess we'll just put it on this town. It's alright. I should maybe put it here when I'm placing things because this is a port. So in theory, I believe if it's a port, it can hit any of these other ports. I think that's how it works, kind of like a trade route. Okay, and then we need to keep a little bit just in case we need to use the infections, but I do want to power level it up if we can. Okay, so that looks all good. Fort whatever is building up, that's building up. Caradrine or whatever is building up. We're about to hit a rebellion next turn. We'll do that. Maybe stall it for a turn. And we've already got one rebellion over here. Okay.
I have only a moment to spare between it.
Military access, their offers. You know. Okay. Alright, well, let's try it out. I mean, if they just focus fire the towers, like, there's not there's not a lot we can do about that. Now, fortunately, blue horrors do not have a lot of ammo. They have like 7 ammo or whatever. I mean, Kugat's just face tanking a lesson. That one battle got a little spooky because I didn't have any healing magic and I didn't realize that. You know, I was getting focus fired by like 12 of them at once or something. It does look like they do. Their attacks also splash, so that can get kind of rough. No towers. All right. point affiliated with? Right here? There's no capture point there. Okay, this. I think this is where they fought me, and I think that's probably one of the better places, because you can get double tower. Okay, here's... this is not very symmetrical. Okay, so we could do... There's one tower... 2 towers, and this one is affiliated with that point. Okay, so... But it's going to be blocked, probably. It's not going to be able to fire on that. I mean, this one's... Well, they can't fire on me from... They might be able to fire over that, but they're probably going to go into this old choke point right here. I think this is probably a better spot. And then this one can fire on them there. Yeah, let's just go here. And then we just need to try to kind of hide, I think, and hope they don't shoot us up too much. Okay. All right. Now, where else? They're gonna take most of the... I mean, they're literally coming from everywhere. I mean, this isn't gonna do that much because they're just gonna be, you know, firing on me. I think maybe it might even be appropriate to just go at them. Once they get in here, like right here maybe. So yeah, I do not... Huh. Kind of wondering if... Yeah, maybe it's correct to like go right here and just hide behind this wall. And then that way they should not be able to fire... I don't know if they can fire over this wall or not. Let's see if they go for it or not. So if we can just kind of line of sight them around this wall. Yeah, it looks like they can't fire. Take that out. Looks like they may not be going for that one. like to cut them off here so they don't like run in here and get this. I don't know where. I'm not seeing a lot of these attacks raining down here. Oh, there it is. Are those splashes? Doesn't look like it's as big of a hit. Oh no. They figured it out. Alright, let's just... maybe they'll aim for this stuff instead. No, I guess it's gonna be too slow. Let's just commit to this. We can kill as many as we can. Yeah, they're gonna take it. I'm not super impressed with the tier 3. It just doesn't seem like the splash is as meaningful. Those are almost like arrows, it looks like. Yeah. I mean, the horrors are pretty good. I mean, to be fair, I don't think that was super close. But we did get rid of 2 horrors and 2 blues and a pink. However, the blue horrors are some of the best cost-efficient units, I think, early on. I still think Nurglings are probably a little bit better, but the blue horrors are solid. Eight iron pillars vanish into the ebon gloom. Okay. Alright. Trading spaces. I get a 13,000 gold sack. and take out their capital, and they get my tier 1 deal. Okay. I mean, we're gonna replenish a decent amount, I hope. You're gonna be in the red quite a bit. Plague Bearers or Toads. Eventually I would like Plague Bearers, but those are easier. Am I going to actually get Toads more, or am I going to go for Forsaken? I think I'm probably going to do Forsaken and Spawn instead of Toads as soon as I get my upgrade. So I guess we'll do Planet in the Fields for now. Huh.
No higher power than
I mean, he's mean mugging me. Is this a... Okay, so that is somewhere he can get into the river. I don't think he can attack this on the first turn, but... that is something we want to be aware of. Okay. It's about the same as it was. So I cannot get that in one turn. I guess I could shut this. I could have him just run back down south. Okay, so we'll just kind of trade here. Make sure he has a good spellcaster with him. I guess we'll just run back down and deal with Kislev, because it looks like they are wanting to get aggressive with me. And then, since we can't hit this in one turn anyways, I guess we'll just go ahead and close this rift. I mean, how crazy would it be if I just took that rift right now? I don't know if I can beat that Khorne dude in a siege, but he seems pretty chill. And if he comes down and fights this other stuff, like my other army can probably take him. I mean, I would like to try to mess with Tzeench while they're in that rift, but at the same time, I just don't know if I'm able to get through Khorne right now without having some stronger units. You know, without having some more grinders and things like that, being a little bit of a higher level. I mean, that would be something you probably don't see all the time either. That'd be entertainment value, because I'll guarantee you most content creators are not going to hop that rift the first time with Nurgle. So I'm going to need probably a second army to manage this, but once I start sacking a bunch of stuff, I think I can make a second army pretty comfortably. Could literally pop up and like grab Altdorf right now. If he's not there, I guess he'd have a little bit of time. Where is the Altdorf? Maybe, I can't remember exactly where. I think it's like right here, yeah. Or maybe, no, maybe it's like right there. It's pretty close. What, it's turn 36. Can I just straight up siege Altdorf right now? Or do I just start over here? I think Marienburg is the easier one. Because everyone's going to declare war on me. And this way I would at least have, like, a little bit of protection. But if I catch Carl off guard, I just can't see it. If I catch Carl off guard and just hit Altdorf right now, like, because I think you still have your movement when you come through. If I just hit it right now, then it's probably like huge sack money. I'm going to be getting hit on multiple fronts, though, if I do that. Like, Carl, all of these guys, I don't think the ogres will come for me right away, but I think this is probably the safer place. This gets closer to the elves, which are really annoying to deal with. I would get Marienburg. I mean, this is probably the spicier one. I mean, I guess if I can't beat Carl, I could just start running up this place. All right, let's go for the spice. Boom, we're doing it. We're going nuts. Oh, I thought you could move on the same turn. Okay, you can. 11,000. Okay, so it's not like the craziest hit in the world, but I mean, I guess that would probably be OP if you could literally show up on the same turn.
Require fresh notes.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just close this while we're here. We'll make it fun for you guys too. Something you maybe haven't seen before. First Rift, running for Empire. But I said, aside from just kind of the YOLO factor of it, that's probably, hopefully going to be entertaining for you guys. I really do think that Empire is one of the most vulnerable places right now to go to because, as I've said before, there's a huge density of towns. I think that Empire as a faction has a hard time dealing with demons early on because they don't have a lot of magic damage to cut through the physical resist. They don't have a ton of magic typically in the early game. That's especially dangerous. So yeah, I mean, Empire can be strong. It was one of my favorite factions, especially before they were reworked. I mean, it was cool the way it was reworked, but kind of with that system, but the elector count system, but I don't like that it deterred aggression. You're like, they turned it into like basically a chill faction where you're heavily disincentivized from being aggressive early so you can get confederations. So I wish there was and you know, like if you start attacking your neighbors, it's kind of bad.
Nurgles, come on.
Yeah, I probably do need to figure out how to turn off those notifications. Someone mentioned that also in the comments, like, hey, you might want to turn those off. Cast it on him, man. Come on. There we go.
Child, marching.
Someone's asking me if they are like gonna nerf the demonettes. I was like, I don't think so. I mean, they're good if they like get flanks on you, but they're all right. But I don't think they're that much stronger. Like,
Unspeakable proxies.
I don't think they're insanely stronger than like the Khorne bloodletters or even like Nurglings on a per cost basis. They just don't seem that like insane to me. They're all right. They're good. I would, you know, I get them when I'm Slaanesh, but like they're just really glass cannon. You know, they do a lot of damage, but they are extremely vulnerable if they ever get flanked themselves.
Nurgles, come on. All my studies.
For the Father.
They die.
And some content creators that I watched were like, say they didn't like the rifts or it was good. If you heard someone just talking all this trash, I don't remember if I said, I mean, not like a ton of trash, but, and this isn't Total War, this was somebody else. I didn't actually listen to Total War's review yet about the game, but I think I talked about like entitlement in a past video and how I think it's a great game. But one thing that this person was complaining about was they were saying that a lot of people just didn't like the rifts. I mean, I could see not liking the Realms of Chaos stuff, potentially. It is story-driven. I mean, I like the Domination Victory as well. And, you know, he was saying there wasn't much counterplay that you have to do that. It's like, well, not really. Like, you can just see the rift they go into. If someone's about to win, you can see the rift they go into and then just go into that rift and kill them, you know, if you want to. Or you can just kill them on the campaign map. Alright, so it's like, you can do the stuff if you want, but you can also paint the map and, you know, counter them. Now, I guess if there are, like, 3 different people that are all about to win or whatever, but you're vulnerable, right? If you go off the map, like with Tzeench, if I wanted to, we maybe could have made a play on Tzeench. Maybe that's what we should have done, is to go take a look at Khorne and make a play on Tzeench. But you're losing a lot of time in board development. I guess we'll take the infections here.
Ingredients for my brews.
I think it's cool. I love that you can flip around. They were saying it was arcadey or something like that. I'm like, it's in the lore, but I mean, it's great. Like, people were saying they wanted something that was more like lore based to allow people to move across the map and things like that. It's like, I get it, it's cool, but at the end of the day, functionally, it opens up the map and creates a lot more replayability, right? Like, this playthrough, maybe I go down to Empire. Maybe another playthrough, I want to go down to the Darklands. Maybe another playthrough, I just warp up to Cathay and start going at it, right? So, like, you have all of these different places, because a lot of times, and I think Warhammer already had, I want to go for the ammo or just the thick skin. I think just the thick skin, because I do get shot by a lot of stuff. But there's usually like a pretty set path, you know what I mean, that you go. Like, you have a few options. Some campaigns have more options than others, but now anyone, in theory, could just go anywhere and take over. But that's, like, it's a real pain in the butt to have to just sail across the ocean for 5 or 10 turns to get, you know, from the old world over into Lustria. Like, that's not, I don't know. Like, I get it, there's an ocean, it's cool. If there were, like, naval battles, maybe that'd be a different thing. But since there aren't, that's not bad. So this is one of those buffs for the Plague Bears that's pretty good. Temperate climates, plus 10. That actually could be relevant, because we're down here in temperate climates now. I believe this is temperate, right? Yeah. Okay, and then, yeah, Bear Dude is creeping on us here. One of these guys is going to have to shut this rift, I think. Not the guy that's a high level. This lower level dude, I guess, can shut it. We'll do that next turn. I think that's good. We could put another plague on something. The one that slows people down would be nice. Just to kind of keep them off my property a little bit. Yeah, it's this one. Could kind of use some more Nurglings too, though. Yeah, let's do this one just because this would be a nice one to put on my defensive lord, especially the one that's fighting Kislev. To get that 20% physical resist would be really handy. Okay, so let's throw down one of these on this port, and then hopefully it'll bounce around a little bit. Or I should have put one on him. I mean, I could still put one on him if I wanted to, but the fact that it's like a much higher spread chance. Okay, Kugath should be fine with his plague for now. We may not have... Okay, we do have one more. Tox farter. Ugh, it just sounds gross. Alright. Okay. Put one on him. You always want to try to put one on your armies if you can in these places, because again, they have a much, much bigger spread chance than the towns do. So, alright. It's good. Okay, looks like Crocodrock's coming for us again too, potentially. Yeah, so he's trying to step up. I guess. Those are Khorne rebels. Alright. Try to hold. So we are getting 100 gold a turn. So one of the towns we just took, that's where the rebellion decided to go. I think it's supposedly random, but... If Carl wasn't in the area and doesn't run home right now, I think we get that place. Now, it is a little weird because... You know, we don't tear down gates super fast with our army. So if they have, like, cannons, that, you know, could be an issue. Which they probably will. We could do the thing where we start in one place and run around to another, depending on how the map looks, but it's harder to do that as Nurgle for obvious reasons. a pretty good little defensible town. And just all bundled up right there.
Plague sword ready.
What is this one affiliated? This one's affiliated with this place. Yeah. I think we'll do it that way, just so we are firing on them right from the start.
Bring Nurgle's rot.
Okay, how do I... I don't know how to mess with that. I guess I'll have to turn off those notifications at some point. Don't care about the warhounds. Don't care about the warriors. Warriors. Oh, they don't even have any bloodletters? Flesh hounds, I suppose, are kind of annoying. Right here might have been alright too. Oh, that's affiliated with this place. Okay. They're pretty slow with those Warriors of Chaos. Warriors of Khorne. I feel like that explosion is way bigger than the upgrade ones. Maybe the upgrade ones just aren't that good. That's what it seemed like to me. And a little underwhelming. I don't know why those hounds aren't moving yet. How often is this dude gonna sign in? He's signed in this game like 4 times. Alright. I mean, he's cool. I think he watched the channel like way back in the day, but it's been like 5 years. I'm not even sure who he is. I just never pay attention to that kind of stuff. But now that someone mentioned it, it's like, yeah, that does pop up quite a bit on Discord. Or whatever on Steam. I'm just not friends with a lot of people on Steam. Just don't really use that platform as like social media. I remember when I was younger and I was like, oh, you know, it was like the very early days of social media. But I remember thinking, oh, I've got, this person has so many friends on, you know, Facebook or whatever. And never thinking like a lot, but I was like, man, you know, they got 1,000 friends on there. Like, man, I only got 500 or something. But I think about it, and I'm like, how many of these people do I actually interact with? Like, is there a chance I would actually, like, talk to them almost ever? And it's so profoundly low. Like, the number really doesn't matter. You have 5 friends. Who cares? If you just hang out with them, if they're, like, 5 good friends, Which is about what it is. A lot of times in town, like, how many people do I actually hang out with on a fairly regular basis? It's probably like 5 to 10 people that aren't like, you know, family and friends that actually have a, you know, consistent relationship with. I don't know. Sometimes people, I think, can just be obsessed with these numbers. Like, oh, I've got to have this number of friends, or I got to have all these other things. It's like, no, you don't. Honestly, when I'm on there, I can't even remember, like, half of the people. I'm like, who was this again? I'm like, oh yeah, it was this girl from, like, 15 years ago that I had an English class with that I thought was cute or something. Or, oh yeah, that was this dude from a party, like, you know, 10 years ago or something. I remember. Yeah, we talked about some philosophy or something. He was a pretty chill guy. It's like, okay, cool, but, like, I don't know. It is nice to, like, have some people there. Just for the sake of, sometimes you do remember, oh yeah, what's that guy been into? You just randomly think about it. So I don't think social media is necessarily a bad thing, because you have all these people on it that you may never talk to. But there are some bad things, you know, in terms of like what they do with your data and stuff like that. But there's so many, like, okay, he's finally coming down. But I'm not in theory opposed to just being friends with people even if you don't talk to them a lot. I'm just saying, like, whatever's going on in your life, it's fine. It's okay. You know? You don't feel bad because it's not going exactly the way that you like, or it's not as glamorous as everybody else's life. It's alright. You know, if you want to improve. Or, you know, whatever you're trying to do, but there's a lot of people out there just like you, I promise. And it's okay. Not everybody has to have 100,000 followers, or, you know, 50 million friends, or driving around in Ferraris, you know, billionaire type of stuff. You'd be perfectly fine with less. Anyways. Oh, he got one of my units, I guess. Oh, he killed my lord? Really? Okay, well that's kind of troll. I think I'm going to get him back at the end of the tournament. I should have been paying closer attention to that. Killed him with his last breath. We're basically out of time here. I don't remember how I got talking about that. I can't remember. I think I got through a lot of the more recent comments. Raziel says, I think an issue with other streamers is that they are looking at Nurgle through the Warhammer 2 colored glasses. Give them a year, and just like with Skaven, they will come to see the joy of Papa Nurgle. I'm not sure how it relates to Warhammer 2, but I definitely get what you're saying, that I think it just, people don't understand or appreciate what's strong about Nurgle, because it's not just immediately obvious. Like, you can't just meme on it as much, right? You can't all caps, like, oh my god, Khorne's got a chainsaw and he's doing 5,000 damage on a hit, right? It's like, Nurgle's got Nurglings, you know, a lot of times. So it's just, it's not as sexy for a lot of people. It's not as easy to market, because you have to actually, like, you know, think and plan ahead and, like, use your resources, like your infections, well. It's not immediately obvious how you're supposed to do that. And it is like the Skaven. I think that's a really good analogy. I don't remember if I made that analogy in this campaign or not, but I totally agree. That Skaven was very similar in that you have to use their tools, right? Back then you had to use their food system well, you had to use, you know, the ambush well, the underway well, because a lot of their units were just bad individually. Like, they matched up poorly against enemy units. You know, like Storm Vermin, not as good as Great Swords. Your Slingers, not as good as most missile units. But it was really just the combination of those units and how you use them in combat that made them strong. Especially on release, before there were really advanced weapons teams and things like that. Okay, just one unit here, though. Ogres are like, damn it, that was supposed to be ours, man. I'm probably gonna have to fight these ogres, which is kind of annoying because I think mountains are yellow.
Do not want to talk, want to disavow.
Ha. Let's see here. He's got 5 properties. He's probably got a lot of these mountains. Yeah, Empire's already at war with me. Wow, I walked in and they're already wiped out, man. That's kind of luck, but I think if, like I said, if Carl literally was not in the town right there, he was gone. Okay, so we'll start off with this next time. This should be fun. 14,000 sack. It's going to be delicious. Alright, so let's go ahead and get in here. Okay. So we'll do this next time. We should be able to handle it. Altdorf is one of the more difficult towns in the game to siege typically because they have, you know, they have elite units and usually they have pretty strong towers. So hopefully the towers aren't too over the top. We'll see. We should be able to rotate, like I said before. That should help out. The cavalry don't matter. Really the halberds don't matter either. That's a really annoying for early on for the ogres to deal with. Like, you can deal with halberds, but like if they're defending a door or something, then that can be annoying. Great swords don't matter. Yeah, I mean, they just can't do anything against our swarm. Like, the best thing they have going for them are these mortars, and those probably will hurt. So we'll have to figure that out, but I think we can just heal through most of what they have going on. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. If you enjoy the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a ton. Tell your friends about it. You know, if you hang out with some people on Discord or some people from school or work or wherever, and, you know, they're looking for some decent, in-depth content, be sure to check that out. I'm going to keep doing the Warhammer 3. If you have any interest in League of Legends, I also stream League of Legends. I specialize in support. Kind of a washed-up diamond player. I'm trying to get back there. But you come by and hang out and talk about Warhammer, too, if you want. I mean, I don't mind. Even if I'm playing League, I'll talk about Warhammer, school, life, how your day's been, whatever you want to talk about. I try to be super conversational on the stream, so come by, check those out. And like I said, if the popularity continues to grow for Warhammer 3 on the channel, then maybe I can start streaming it. I know that there have been more and more people finding success with streaming Warhammer. I know it's not a top Twitch game, but obviously Legend pulls in over 1,000 viewers, and there are several other people that at least get a couple hundred, which is pretty good. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thanks, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.